Roland Garros suffered another scheduling blow on Friday when the second semi-final between Novak Djokovic and Dominic Thiem was halted for the night. Organizers said the decision was taken due to the worsening weather conditions, but just after play was suspended for the day at 6:45 p.m., bright skies appeared over the site. In theory, that could have allowed for another 2 hours of play. Austrian fourth seed Thiem led 6-2, 3-6, 3-1 against the world number 1 when the players left court Philippe Chatrier. The semi-final will resume at midday on Saturday, organizers said. The winner will play Rafael Nadal in Sunday's final after the 11-time champion beat old rival Roger Federer 6-3, 6-4, 6-2 earlier on Friday. Top seed Djokovic had been increasingly frustrated with the conditions on court, with high winds kicking up the clay. He even summoned the tour supervisor at one stage to complain about the severity of the gusts. The Serb, seeking to become just the second man in history to hold all 4 slams at the same time twice, even asked bemused Andreas Egli if there was an extreme wind rule. "It hasn't rained for 50 minutes and already play has been cancelled," tweeted Amélie Mauresmo, France's former world number 1. She had already blasted the decision to switch the 2 women's semi-finals earlier in the day away from Chatrier as a disgrace. "I believe that we have hit rock bottom," Mauresmo added. Tournament organizers said fans holding tickets for the semi-final would be fully refunded as they will not be valid for Saturday. Djokovic has experienced similar delays before and bounced back during his ongoing 26-match Grand Slam win streak. He played the last 2 sets of his Wimbledon semi-final last year against Nadal and returned the next day to beat Kevin Anderson in the final. Tournament director Guy Forget said the decision to halt play was taken because high winds of up 80 km/h were expected in the evening. The players had already stopped twice for rain, and as the referee will tell you, it is painful for everyone, especially the players, Forget told L'Equipe. He also blasted stories of Djokovic having left the grounds before play had been called off as completely inaccurate. "The protocol is that we talk to the players first and then we make an announcement," Forget said. "I do not know who left first, but the 2 players were told at exactly at the same time. They looked at each other and said, okay." Forget's insistence did not dampen speculation over other reasons possibly in play when there was seemingly enough daylight available to even finish the match. Former 2-time champion Jim Courier, broadcasting for Britain's ITV, said the decision to come back on Saturday played into Djokovic's hands. "This is going to sting. These conditions are very difficult for Novak. These are very advantageous for Dominic Thiem," argued the American. Nadal and Federer came ready to accept the conditions and so did Thiem. But Novak came ready to not like them. "The happiest person right now would be Novak on his way back home. Whoever makes the final on Sunday will have played every day for 4 days as both Djokovic and Thiem only completed the quarterfinals on Thursday." Earlier in women's action, Ashley Barty and Marketa Vondrousova set up a final showdown, shrugging off a sexism row which had seen the semi-finals shifted away from the tournament's showpiece court. Barty, 23, reached her first final at the majors, coming back from a set and 0-3 down to defeat 17-year-old Amanda Anisimova 6-7, 4/7, 6-3, 6-3 in a rollercoaster semi-final. Czech teenager Marketa Vondrousova also made sure of her place in a maiden final at the Slams by edging out Britain's Johanna Konta 7-5, 7-6, 7 halves. Vondrousova, 19, is the first teenager to reach a major final in 10 years since Caroline Wozniacki at the 2009 US Open and the first at Roland Garros in 12 years. Saturday's final will be the youngest final at a slam since the 2008 Roland Garros Championship match when 20-year-old Ana Ivanovic defeated Dinara Safina 22. 8th seed Barty is the first Australian in a French Open final since Samantha Stosur finished runner-up in 2010. "That was amazing, both good and bad," said Barty, who will rise to the top 3 in the rankings next week. "It was the hardest thing that I ever had to do. I am really proud of the way I fought, especially in the conditions which were cold and windy." Both semi-finals got underway after accusations of sexism were made against French Open organizers who had decided to shift the matches away from the showpiece court Philippe Chatrier. The main arena had already been scheduled to stage the men's semi-finals between Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic against Dominic Thiem. The WTA said the decision, taken after Wednesday's play was washed out and prompted by fears of more rain Friday, was unfair and inappropriate. Former world number 1 Amélie Mauresmo of France said it was a disgrace. Barty, 23, raced into a 4-0 lead with successive breaks as Anisimova, plagued with nerves, managed just 1 point. The 17-year-old saved 2 set points in the 6th game to finally get on the board and retrieved a break for 2-5. She broke twice again for 6-5 but faltered when she served for the set before securing the tie-break. Anisimova then led 3-0 in the second set, with Barty failing to win a point. However, in a perfect capsule of the unpredictable semi-final, played out in front of a half-full court Suzanne Lenglen, Barty claimed the next 6 games to level the tie. The Australian, who once famously took a break from tennis to pursue a cricket career, even recovered from a break at 1-2 down in the decider. She eventually held her nerve as Anisimova, bidding to become the youngest finalist in Paris since Martina Hingis in 1997, fell apart despite gamely saving 5 match points. "I mean, I was kind of like frozen and I couldn't really get into my game," said Anisimova of her wretched start, although she has the consolation of knowing she'll be in the top 30 next week. Over on a damp and windy court, Simone Mathieu, world number 38 Vondrousova battled past 26th seed Konta, who was bidding to become Britain's first female French Open finalist since Sue Barker won the 1976 title. When she steps onto Chatrier on Saturday, it will be Vondrousova's first experience of the arena. "I watched compatriot Lucy Safarova when she played finals there in 2015 when I was junior, but I never played there. So it's going to be something huge," she said. Konta looked the stronger player for large periods of the match, but a staggering 41 unforced errors proved costly. The match was played in an atmosphere more associated with first-round ties rather than semi-finals, in front of a smattering of spectators on the 5,000-capacity arena. "The way it looks probably speaks for itself more than anything," said Konta after the match in reference to the court. Konta made a quick start as Vondrousova struggled with the wind and her nerves on serve, the Briton forging 5-3 ahead. But the 28-year-old started with a 1-set lead in sight, missing 3 set points and then being broken when serving for the opener. Vondrousova took full advantage, reeling off 4 straight games to make Konta pay. Konta gathered herself, though, and took total control of the second set with an early break, moving 5-3 in front again. But she tightened up once more when the pressure was on, dropping serve when 1 game from forcing a decider in a downpour of errors. With light rain falling on Roland Garros, Vondrousova sealed victory by racing through the tiebreak and into the final. Copyright 2019 AFP. Let's block ads. Why?